In the last lecture we talked about the basic understanding of the metaverse. Remember, it is the possible digital world in which people participate and live with. Digital identity. In this lesson we will look at the elements of such a digital world that are understood when you say the word metaverse. Many people associate it with games, and a lot of metaverse-related news you see nowadays is indeed related to games. For example, Roblox, the first company to include a metaverse in its prospectus, is a game where players can build their own content, and it's already listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Some people say that games are not the primary form of the metaverse, and metaverse is a more advanced version of games. Is it right? Is it true that games and metaverse have the same components and are just at different stages of development? Or are they simply two different things? What is the essence of the difference between games and metaverse? Well, let's see where the games and the metaverse are actually more alike. If you have ever played a game, you will have a good understanding of it. As we said in the last lecture, the metaverse is one in which people participate in a digital capacity, right? If it is a broad metaverse, then there are all kinds of metaverses, and a person can have multiple digital identities and have various possible lives in different metaverses. For example, in one metaverse you are a general of World War II. In another metaverse, a cute and gentle puppy. In a third metaverse, you become an alien. Isn't that how games are now? In this game, you are Julius Caesar, a superstar singer, or an assassin without a name. In another game you become a cute little elf. In these games you fight with your team and do tasks together. Isn't this a lot like the metaverse? In addition, many advanced games now use various wearable devices such as VR glasses, game controllers, etc. With the player immersion into the virtual world, you can not only see that world but also perceive that world. This is also very similar to the metaverse. One of the driving points of many metaverse concept companies is to provide the technology and equipment for immersive experiences in their vision. In the future, you can enter the metaverse very smoothly and almost without perception with a very real immersive experience. However, please note that this is still quite a distance from the metaverse, and the game is by no means what we call a metaverse. There are three elements in the metaverse. If the technology mentioned earlier that provides individuals with an immersive experience is one of the elements that comprise the metaverse, in my opinion, at this stage, it can only be considered half of the elements, or the element that ranks lowest, or to put it another way, the technology of hardware devices only contributes to part of the composition of the human experience. In the metaverse, the other two fundamental elements are what the game does not have. One is the identity system and the other is the value system. Let's take a look at them separately. With the identity system, as we mentioned in the last lecture, we participate in the internet. Technology extends the possibilities of people. We carry out various activities on the internet with a nickname, account number, and the identity in the real world is inseparable. But for the metaverse, the identity is entirely virtual. This virtual identity is not packaging of you in the real world as another person. It is not a requirement in the actual world, such as shopping or socializing, to develop an identity specifically for this reason, but rather a free choice made entirely out of the metaverse as a system. Therefore, To make the digital identity of the metaverse truly valuable, it is precisely necessary to properly isolate the relationship with the identity of the real world so that the digital identity can exist as an independent individual for a long time. Various relationships can be generated between different identities. To make the metaverse truly work just like our real world. This is the identity system of the metaverse. The value system is the economic system and operating rules of a metaverse. What you do in it is what creates value. What you do is what you can trade with others. What are your assets that will be protected? What are the goods you can consume, etc.? I guess you have questions. The game also has an identity. System and value system. How are they different from the metaverse? Yes, the game also has these two systems, but it's not the same thing at all. The key is in this word centralized. Take the identity system. It looks like there are many characters in the game for you to choose from. You can also give it your personality, change your hair, change your clothes, change your equipment. But the game developers predetermine the whole identity system. The player does not have any influence. Moreover, centralization means that there is theoretically a super authority. All your account data, and behavior data are in the hands of the game operator. If we put aside the mandatory norms, the game operator can theoretically delete any information from your account. In other words, it is not up to you to decide whether your game identity exists or not. The value system is even more centralized. The game developer completely decides at what kind of props and skins are in the game. How much does this skin sell for, and why is this prop worth so much money? These are all set by the game developer. The players in it are just following this system to complete the tasks of the game. This is centralization. The metaverse, on the other hand, is decentralized. There is no pre-written plot, no choice of characters, and no endpoint like a game pass. All are planned by the participants from the early stage of opening up the land to the later stage of various gameplay. The metaverse gives the participants total freedom. This is the reason why Roadblocks, the game we mentioned earlier, is very famous. Although it is a game, it adopts a decentralized game development approach, which is closer to the primary form of the metaverse. And what we often call games, whether they are role-playing games or more complex, open-world games or roaming-style games, are essentially centralized games where the players are still within the rules of the game operator. Even in open-world games, it's just a matter of when and how players go about completing tasks, but the game operator still decides the task. In a nutshell, the identity system is a new social relationship in a decentralized metaverse, and the value system is a new production relationship. Therefore, if a decentralized identity and value system are not established, there is no way to discuss the metaverse, no matter how extreme the hardware equipment technology is, and how realistic the immersion experience is. It cannot be called a metaverse. Identity system, value system plus immersive experience are the three elements of the metaverse. Why do we need a metaverse? This should have helped you sort out why we say that metaverse is not a more advanced game. However, this leads to another question: why do we need metaverse? If it's just for an entertainment experience, there are enough games and internet entertainment products. to cover our needs and give us a great experience, and at this stage many metaverse practices are still very rough in terms of experience, so why do they also attract so many people to join them? In my opinion, the first thing is the sense of existence that creation and relationships bring to people. Creation. As we mentioned earlier, because of decentralization, the metaverse gives participants full freedom to use their own creativity, establish their own rules and define their own values. Isn't it a good way to get a sense of existence by using one's initiative and realizing one's ideas to identify oneself? In addition to creating, there are also relationships. Zuckerberg said in an interview that the metaverse makes him feel extremely excited because it helps people gain a stronger sense of presence to spend time with people they care about. It is human nature to orient ourselves and think about the world through human interaction. If the metaverse can help us build more relationships with others, it has the potential to lead to more positive experiences, as discussed in the last lecture, Our Internet. Experience is more like watching in what we participate alone. However, if the metaverse realizes living together and provides a more real experience of interaction with everything happening in the digital world, we the participants will gain a stronger sense of being, the sense of presence that comes with creation and relationships is, I'm afraid, an important reason why metaverse practices at this stage are still appealing to so many people, even though the experience is less than stellar. Not only that, but the metaverse does have the potential to help us cope with the problem of artificial intelligence replacing people. As we all know, AI is getting closer and closer to us, and many jobs will be replaced. Yuval Harari, the author of A Brief History of the Tomorrow, even said that between the next 20 and 30 years, more than 50% of jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligence. This is already happening with self-service supermarkets, self-service shelves and driverless cars all becoming a reality. Repetitive labor and jobs like doctors, lawyers and wordsmiths are at risk of being replaced in a future where artificial intelligence is becoming more powerful. What other jobs will be left? For us in the future? In his book, Inevitably, Kevin Kelly said optimistically, people will find new jobs at new levels of productivity. I look at that statement again now and read new possibilities. Isn't that the metaverse? New employment models may arise in the metaverse. People may also adopt entirely new careers and create new values in the metaverse altogether. Now look back at the essential difference between the metaverse and the game. Without a decentralized identity system and value system, the metaverse does not hold, no matter how close it is on an exceptional level to human needs. Games are just games. At the same time, the metaverse gains a stronger sense of presence for us because of creation and relationships. More importantly, it provides a solution to deal with the replacement of people by artificial intelligence. Now to summarize the main points of today. One Identity system, value system plus experience are the three main elements of metaverse realization. To the identity system is a new social relationship, and the decentralized metaphors in the value system is a new production relationship. 3. If we do not establish a decentralized identity system and value system, there is no way to talk about the metaverse, and no matter how extreme the technology is, or how realistic the experience is, it cannot become a metaverse, for human needs, the game has limitations. While The metaverse allows us to live with a stronger sense of existence and belonging because of the creation of relationships. More importantly, it provides a solution to cope with the substitution of artificial intelligence for people.